Good morning, Zio here, and today we're going to talk about game journalism, and to be more specific, IGN. Of course, if you ask anyone who's been paying attention and looking at this stuff, in fact, you probably know it yourself, places like IGN, Polygon, stuff like that, isn't exactly the place to really go for anything worthwhile these days. And there's multiple reasons behind that. Now, you've got the people who are in charge pushing certain things. You have activist writers who are trying to push certain agendas and things like that. And, but at the same time, you have people actually trying to do their job. People who are forced into situations they'd rather not be in because, the people above them or whatever is forcing them into these things. Anyway, so some things have come out onto the twatters, and we're going to go through them, sort of giving some, there's a word I'm looking for that I can't think of, but it sort of sheds some light onto the back end things that have been going on at IGN over the years and all that good stuff. So go ahead and grab yourself some coffee and let's get into it, shall we? So this is where we're going to start our thing. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, you should go ahead and do so now. Just take a moment to go down below and hit that button. Be part of the crew, whatever it is we got going on here. My little army that I'm building for world domination, all that stuff. I need more bodies for it. Some more cannon fodder. Not cannon fodder, but people to help me rule the world. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Anyway, but seriously, we've got Eric Sapp here. Used to work for IGN. He was or actually does still work for IGN, and doesn't he? He's an editorial designer now, I believe. I could just look at him. Oh, wait, I'm really bad at this. Editorial designer at IGN. Yeah. Still is. Okay. He's still working at IGN, I assume. Anyway, yeah, this is how much I know these journalists. I don't really keep track of who is who. I just read their articles and trash them because they do really stupid things sometimes and say really dumb things. But, you've got like activists and things like that in the game journalism sphere, a lot of it, where they're trying to push agendas where there are no agendas and pushing things that aren't. And you've, of course, got people in the power over there that is probably not the best person to have. But this here was, of course, dropped. I've been seeing a handful of tweets today outing predators in the industry, and I just want to say to everyone who is sharing their stories, thank you for being incredibly late. My heart is racing while I type this, but I figured now's the time to properly reveal something. If anyone remembers the news article that broke January 2018 involving a former IAC here at IGN alleged workplace misconduct, don't even want to type his name, and how he was let go after an investigation, yeah, that was me. And this is the thing we're talking about right here. I believe this is the article. Maybe not. Oh, this is Polygon. Anyway, this article does go over it. This is back in 2018, January 3rd is when this article was done. And this does go over the statements and things and what was going on as IGN had fired Steve Butts. Anyway, childish humor aside. Its longtime editor-in-chief over alleged misconduct. But anyway, the whole part in the Kotaku article where someone told the reporter that someone accused him in a giant meeting, that was me. I blurted it out and the whole room fell silent, and I was absolutely afraid of losing my job on the spot, but quickly after that, things were already in motion to remedy the problem. I was booked into multiple HR meetings where I shared everything he's done to me over a 3-year period after I publicly came out as bi, which totaled to be about 11 pages. 11 pages. Jeez, dude. Anyway, that's a lot. And it wasn't just me who spoke out. A handful of other friends have all witnessed his actions towards me and went into speak about him too. He wasn't subtle with his actions. Things were so bad that they even brought in an outside investigator plus a copy editor to sit down with me for an hour and go over everything in detail, which I'm thankful that they supplied me tissues so I could cry a little. They knew I was scared and wanted help. I remember the morning when the news broke. Before it actually broke, I was emailed by our previous GM to come speak with him inside of their office, which was like the feeling of being sent to the principal's office in the school. I was terrified. I remember knocking on the door, asked to come in, and inside was him, my former boss, and our HR lead, who set me down and told me the news that he was being let go and that I would be safe going forward and that there would be no more of this at IGN. And you want to know what? Things actually got much better. Things have improved, at least from what I can see. There's a part of me that is paranoid that some folks may hate me for coming forward with all this stuff. I felt out of place, disconnected, even silent, or ever since. However, I think it helps that I have been able to work remotely from home since August of last year to help clear my head and just sort of disappear from the outside world. And I've been happy at peace. But yes, that is all I will share today. No, I will not be answering questions and yada yada. Anyway, so aside from that, we now have this here, which is more stuff happening at IGN. You've got editors and things forcing people to make articles or to put out articles they'd rather not, or they don't want to, or they know factually isn't. You know, like I said, sometimes there are some writers out there who are in the gaming space who actually do try to do a good job. Maybe not all the time, but sometimes they really do try to do a good job, you know? But anyway, this is Mitch Dyer. He is a writer, and solidarity with my IGN co-workers who endured emotional terror from Tal Blevins and Steve Butts. In my time from 2012 to 2016, I felt taken advantage of, exploited, manipulated, and afraid for my job at nearly every turn. I was one of the lucky ones working for them. When Tal wanted something done, or don't agree with something I said, which happened often, as IGN employees were mostly amazing people pushing them to do better, he would CC Steve to intimidate me into following through with his request. These guys stayed at a $300 Airbnb, $3,000 Airbnb, while employees shared rooms in roach hotels. That sucks. Anyway, when we pushed to have our own rooms, which I'm pretty sure they legally had to oblige, they told us to deal with it because the company didn't have that much money. Yeah, okay, that's fine. They can stay in $3 or $3,000 Airbnbs, and you get the the $45 roach motel room that you got to share with somebody. Anyway, in 2014, I was halfway through my work permit timeline, and I opened a conversation with Steve about renewing it in 2016. For 2 years, I was uncertain if I would have a job or be allowed to stay in the country because I never got a positive answer. Steve Butts and Tal Brem's reprimanded staff for standing up for friends. They created a culture of fear among the best people and I have ever known. We only had each other. None of us knew what to do to feel better about facing these guys every day. When I reported on Amy leaving Naughty Dog, Steve Butts and Tal Brems forced gossip into my story. They heard it was a hostile takeover. We didn't want to publish it. I tried to take my name off the story. They would not allow me to do so. They forced an unproven claim onto IGN.com with my name on it against my will to protect their relationship with Sony. A company protecting their relationship with Sony. Wonder why they would do something like that. almost like those reviews aren't really bought and paid for, but you know, there's incentive. Anyway, when Sony justifiably condemned our story, Steve and Tell went silent. They never went to bat for me for a second. To Neil Druckmann and Bruce Stanley, who were caught up in the crossfire of IGN's hostile, toxic leadership, I'm so sorry. I am responsible for the anger, disgust, and disappointment you lived with then, and I never forgave myself for buckling beneath these manipulative monsters. These are the guys who would later publish a story on IGN, The Last Guardian is canceled, and when we confronted them about publishing an unsubstantiated, hilariously bullshit story without consulting the news team, they said, you should have chased this. When I pushed for a promotion, I was told not until you say yes more. They want someone to agree with their wretched decision making and horrible leader practices. I got cost of living raise every year and nothing more. Nothing was ever enough to earn anything. Anyway, point is, all this, we're going to go ahead and end that right there because I think we read enough, right? You've got leadership who is, pushing out rumors, not following up with anything, not substantiating anything, not actually following a story, making other people, essentially held responsible for that story and changing it up on them. You've got them, cramming them into roach motels when they go off site somewhere instead of giving them anything halfway decent while they stay in luxury and whatnot. You've got a environment of fear and distrust going on. Doesn't sound too good. Not exactly how I would want my business ran anyway. But anyway, with all that, let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I will talk to you later.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, smash that like button, and always subscribe for more. And of course, there are other videos floating around somewhere on the screen, so click one of those and see if you can find something that suits your fancy. Till then, I'll see you later. Bye.